Today we are joined by retired Hall of Fame jockey Ramon Dominguez to talk about a new project he's been working on called Exacta Box. Together with co-host Jose Francisco Rivera, Ramon has started a new YouTube channel targeted towards racing's Spanish-speaking audience. Ramon, thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me, Katie.
To get us started, could you give us an overview on the project and tell us a little bit about how it got started?
Jose Francisco Rivera, who his background, in Venezuela, he called the races, among other things, within the sport. And then once he came to the U.S. Quite a few years ago, he worked for 11 years for ESPN Deportes as a play-by-play commentator. So he's a huge sport fan, but I would say that his main sport is horse racing. So he understanding that there was a need to provide the Latino, the Hispanic market with great content for horse racing. He came to me and said, Ramon, I have this idea. So we started collaborating, and that's how Exacta Box was born.
Yeah, so I was looking at your YouTube, and you kind of started with more racing analysis type stuff, and now you're moving into like guests and features on them. So what has been kind of the order of how things have progressed, and what do you see it going towards?
Sure, and the possibilities are endless. I mean, we're so excited. We love the work that we do, and we actually enjoy the interactions and the interviews that we have done. And so right now, we typically do, whether Wednesday or Thursday, a feature of an interview that we have done with a horse racing personality. A lot of them have been jockeys, and we actually just did yesterday one that I think is going to, we're going to feature next week with Rudy Rodriguez, who was a jockey and now is a pretty successful trainer. But we also did one with Eduardo Luna, who was a groom for among many amazing horses that he has had. No less than American Pharaoh and Justify and Arrogate. So that was amazing just to hear firsthand from somebody who took care of these horses and little details about what goes into taking care of these amazing athletes. So right now, again, we're doing those interviews, and then Saturdays or Sunday we do a review of analysis of the weekend stakes and kind of our perspective. Him is a horse racing fan and somebody who again has been behind the microphone and the binoculars watching these races, and me as a jockey who has been on the stirrups many of those races, and just kind of bring a different perspective.
So you touched on the Latino community and that being your audience. So a two-part question. Do you think that that's kind of a community that the industry in general kind of, if it does get overlooked, and if so, as an industry, what can we do more to promote to that audience?
And absolutely, definitely has been an audience and a community that has been overlooked for way too long. It's a matter of studying really what is important to them. And that is, in essence, what we are trying to achieve, to just for the person to understand these athletes, if it is the jockeys or the horsemen and what they do, and fall in love with the sport.
I was watching earlier this morning the recent interview with Farron Peterson, and that one was really awesome. And just her talking about her presence on social media.
Farron Peterson is one that is absolutely awesome, because what an amazing person she is. I mean, what she has done in her short life, because she's still so young, but it's incredible. I mean, being a veterinarian, being a professional jockey that is doing quite well, holding still a record as a pole vaulter, and you name it. And she is full of life, but she also brings a great understanding of what is important in the sport in terms of promoting it. And as you mentioned, that she said that she wasn't even big into social media, but she understood that her role could be important in terms of promoting the good of the sport. So somebody like her is amazing. And we're certainly full of ideas, but at the same time, very open to collaborate with anybody in the industry that has the same goals, and which is to promote our sport.